Welcome back to Sunday AM now. For thousands of tenants around the country, their rental property is simply somewhere to lay their head at the end of a long day. But it doesn't have to be that way, according to Interior's Magpie Jeddah Downey, who recently showed us how we can transform a house into a home. Have a look. Interior's Magpie Jeddah Downey knows a thing or two about renting, so I recently popped into her for a cuppa and to have a chat.
As you know, we're in the middle of a housing crisis. People who didn't necessarily think they would be long-term renting are long-term renting. And I think for most people, it is the most expensive outlay you have every month. So even if you're renting, it should feel like your home. And it's important that your home feels like it's yours. Even though you're renting it, I think it should still feel like your own, especially because some people are renting 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, you know?
So what are we allowed to do and not allowed to do as renters?
It varies from landlord to landlord, so you want to be very clear about reading your lease. Some landlords are happy for you to do work as long as you tell them and it's easily reversible, like painting. Other landlords are much stricter, so no nails in the wall, that sort of thing. You want to be very careful because what you don't want to do is something that is going to cost you your bond when you move out. So read your lease very carefully and speak to your landlord. And if in doubt, don't do anything that you can't reverse.
How can we make a house our home when we are limited in what we can do?
There's a lot of house hacks that you can do. And I think one of the key things to do is when you're living in a rental, buy things that you love. Buy cushions that you love, buy duvets that you love, but do try to make it your own and add your own stamp on it, but make sure they're things that you can take with you to your next home, whether it be your next rental or, you know, if you're lucky enough to own your own home, to your own home. But it is important, I think, to not just go, well, it is what it is and I'll just suck it up, because, you know, you want to love where you live.
So if we're talking specifically about objects, what should people be on the lookout for if they want to transform a house into their home?
I think go for key items. Rugs are a really big winner because particularly if you've got ugly floors, they can transform a space. Soft furnishings, cushions, throws, that sort of things that add warmth and texture. And then I love lamps and objets, as we would say, little tchotchkes, little things that are ornamental, that are your style, that you can move around your home.
We're here in your home today and I have serious wall envy. Spectacular wall of paintings, pictures and prints behind you. So how important is wall art when you're making the space your own?
For me, it's incredibly important. I absolutely love my pictures and my paintings, and they make every home feel like mine. So I think they add instant character, they can transform a space, and you can put them up in a rental easily using command strips. So I'm a big fan of the gallery wall.
So we have found an apartment in Dublin that would be typical of a lot of rental properties. It's a 2-bed apartment and there's a lot of light and it's a fairly new build, but it's a blank canvas. There's nothing going on there at the moment. So would you come with us now to have a look and see what you think?
Absolutely. Any excuse to get into a property, I am there.
Great, let's go. So Jeddah, here we are.
Wow.
First impressions?
Amazing space. I love the fact that the walls are white and not magnolia, which is great. Beautiful sofa. A pretty bare room, but great bones. Great bones.
Well, we'll let you familiarise yourself with the property. Have a snoop around. Jeddah, you've had the chance to look around our tenants' property. Now, they're away for the next few days, so you have free reign in the area. What do you think?
I think I want to move in. It's an amazing apartment. It's just a bit sparse. There's no life in here, there's no warmth in here. So I think I'm probably going to just sort of try to breathe a bit of life into it, I think.
There's just a coffee table, a main table, and a couch. And that's a lot of the time what tenants are faced with when they move into a property.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a couple of key things in here. The table has a bench, but it's missing chairs, so we'll have to rectify that. And the couch is just lacking a bit of depth, so I think we'll bring in some soft furnishings, you know, soften that whole area up, just make it feel a bit cozier.
What areas are you going to concentrate on?
I think predominantly I'm going to go with the lounge. We might zhuzh up the dining area a bit, and definitely that bedroom.
We do tend to neglect our bedrooms, don't we? Why is that?
I think it's because the room that not everybody who comes into your home sees. First room is generally kitchen, living room, dining room, so that's what people tend to focus on.
Well, our tenant has very graciously given us the key because she's away for a few days, so I'm going to hand it over to you now.
Thank you.
Best of luck on this project. You're a brave woman.
Has to be done.
I'll leave you in peace. Having a look at that transformation later on in the show.
That's a blank canvas.
It's a perfect blank
Great
canvas,
bones.
isn't it?
It's a beautiful
Great
apartment.
bones, yeah.
Great bones.
Yeah, exactly. It was a beautiful apartment, but the tenant didn't have the time or the inclination to do anything with it. As
Did
so
you
many
ask the
people
tenant's
are.
permission, by the way, first before you go in and start putting
The tenant knew, yes. We didn't just arrive.
fluffy cushions
break
all over
in.
the place? Golden
yeah.
pineapples.
Oh, it was
And
really interesting to do.
you've obviously seen the other
Yes, I
side
have.
of it.
Yeah.
Is it amazeballs?
Yes, it's amazing. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Stay
Absolutely
tuned
amazing.
to
And
find
these
out.
are the hacks that you can do that are all reversible. Because obviously you want to get your deposit back if you're
Yes.
leaving.
Right,
So you
okay.
can't actually
yeah,
damage
yeah.
the property.
And
or-
all very affordable.
Very affordable, and
Yeah.
actually I'm glad you mentioned that because obviously people are paying through the roof for
For rent
for rental
already.
property. So there's no money left over to actually
Yeah.
pay for expensive interiors. So no, all done in a
Doesn't
budget.
involve drilling in the wall or knocking through holes in
No.
the wall. Or
None of that
Not that
stuff.
she would know of.
Yeah.
Well, after the break, styles for any date you might have on Valentine's Day.